say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you so much. You may be seated. To begin today's meeting, I'd like to turn it over to Tom Wildenhouse, the president of the South Florida PGA Foundation. Tom has an update of all of the activities of the foundation.
Good morning and welcome to the virtual version of the South Florida PGA annual meeting. Before I dive into the Section Foundation report, I'd like to sincerely wish you all well and hope that you and your families and your staff are all adjusting well to the times here with the COVID virus, and that everyone is staying safe. As I look back on 2019, I'm deeply proud of our leadership in Jeff Lofstead and Meredith Schuler and Michelle Goda, who is now taken over a lot of what's going on at the foundation level. We are so fortunate to have these quality professionals working for us and being the face of a lot of our programs. I'd like to extend a huge thank you to them and to all of the staff for what they do for the foundation and all of the section activities. And when I really look at the programming in 2019, we had a fantastic year. All of our programs continued to grow and flourish and provide really positive benefits for the community. And it's unfortunate that we had to be suspended a little bit here in 2020. But we had such a banner year in 2019 that PGA headquarters awarded the South Florida PGA with the 2019 Herb Graffis Award. And this truly is a testament to the PGA members, the volunteers, and the staff here in the South Florida PGA that have dedicated their time and believed in the vision of the South Florida PGA's foundation. And this award has really deepened the foundation board's drive to dive deeper into our communities to provide better lives for the people that live within our communities. So we're completely honored, but more excited for the PGA members that have volunteered their time. This is truly a testament to their excellent work that they've provided for us. In these COVID times, everything has changed, and the Section Foundation activities are no different. However, the PGA Hope program has gone viral. Our fantastic staff has created a Facebook page so that all of the veterans can communicate with each other as well as our staff. Our great PGA Hope educators and trainers, the PGA members, have created videos that are being sent to the veterans so that they can practice at home. There's tips, there's drills for them. As well as we've created a phone chain so that the veterans can communicate with one another so that they know that they're not alone. Our Smiling for Life program has gone viral as well, and I'm so excited that our PGA members that operate the Smiling for Life program have done similar things. They've created videos with tips and stretches and drills that can be played in their room while they're at the healthcare facility. So we're staying connected with the Smiling for Life patients as well. Truly excited about our junior tour as well, even though the kids aren't able to get out and play. But we've engaged those kids through weekly email blasts. Our junior leaders in the local level have reached out with videos and tips so that they can practice at home. We've also engaged the junior tour players to write encouraging letters to the Smiling for Life staff at all the different medical facilities to keep their spirits encouraged and to keep engaged with what's going on in their community. I'm really excited today, though. I think that it's important that we continue as a foundation to move forward in the best way possible. And I'm excited to announce to you today that we are going to award a $20,000 four-year scholarship sometime this summer to a deserving applicant headed to their collegiate career. Because of the generosity of a lot of our donors, we're able to do this even in these tough times. And I think it's a testament to our programming that the donors continue to come to us and want to support what we're doing. Again, I'd like to thank all of you for your time and your attention today for the Foundation Report. I wish you all the very best as we move into the slower part of the year, that you and your family, your work family, stay healthy and stay well.
Thank you so much, Tom. It is great to see that the Foundation is still finding ways to make an impact. Next on the agenda is the report of the Secretary. Vice President Scott Kirkwood has been handling the duties of the office since December, when the position was vacated by the departure of Neil Lockey to the North Texas section. I'd like to ask Scott to provide both the Secretary report as well as the report of the Vice President. Scott?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. For the Secretary's report, I would first like to start by taking a moment to honor our fellow PGA members who passed away this past year. Danny Boswell, August the 7th, 2019. Steve Hodgkins, August the 23rd, 2019. Larry Padula, September the 3rd, 2019. Rick Panessa, September the 13th, 2019. Al Johnson, November the 28th, 2019. Al Chandler, December the 1st, 2019. Ken Burnett, January the 1st, 2020. Tim Gatt, February the 7th, 2020. Sean Headley, March the 24th, 2020. Dan Wood, May the 7th, 2020. I ask for a moment of silence. Thank you. I would also like to recognise all of the new members of the section since our meeting last year. Congratulations to all of our new members. Now I would like to move to the Vice President's report. As the Vice President, I have the responsibility to oversee the financial affairs of the section. I will first provide some 2019 fiscal year-end updates. The section concluded 2019 with a net profit of $154,000. The section investments were up $86,000, resulting in an increase of our net assets of $240,000. The section had $2,579,000 in total consolidated current assets at the end of the past year. The section had $3,536,000 in total consolidated assets at the end of 2019. Shifting to 2020, the section budgeted a profit of $55,000. Certainly, this global pandemic has resulted in some financial challenges, but you will note from my report that the section came into this crisis in a very healthy position from the balance sheet and from a cash flow standpoint. And it looks like we will come out of this with as minimal damage as possible. I want to thank all of our previous leaders for the decisions that they have made to put us in a strong financial position, which has made it possible for us to handle this crisis as best as possible. This concludes the Secretary and Vice President reports. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. And now for my report. You know, these have been incredibly unprecedented times, and golf is likely to come out of this better than we went into it, actually, because it's really been one of the only activities that people have been able to participate in throughout this entire crisis. I know that it's been Some pockets of the country have gone through some close downs and such, but for the most part, golf has been active through this entire crisis. It feels different. It looks different. It certainly is not the same, but what it is we're out, we're with our friends, though social distancing, we're enjoying what we love about the game, and so I think for that I feel incredibly grateful, and I hope that you do as well. And though I know all of our situations have been challenged, instructors and golf shop owners in particular have been challenged the most, I think, though we've all been challenged. The instructors are getting back at it, learning new ways to teach from, again, a social distancing situation. The golf shop owners are stuck with inventory and are going to have to liquidate much of what they have in order to get back to business, and so that's going to be painful, and hopefully some of these CARE Act and government opportunities will be helpful. At the section level, please be looking for some announcements on potential liquidation opportunities that we're going to put together. So please be looking for that in your email. Your section really went into this in a very, very healthy financial position, and will come out of it in a very healthy financial position. Our balance sheet is fantastic, and our cash flow was really good going into it. And so as a result, we're one of the fortunate sections that really are positioned well to move forward. Not every section can say that, and so Jeff and team, thank you so much for your prudent management and your frugal nature of running your business. So we greatly appreciate that, and we all owe you a debt of gratitude. You're going through some challenging work conditions. So not only, we are caregivers by nature, right? And we press the flesh, we give hugs, we're high-fiving. None of that we can do right now, and so it's a challenge. And not to mention, we're wearing gloves, we're wearing masks. It's 95 degrees, or soon to be 95 degrees, and so it's not going to be the same environment that we're accustomed to. But with time, let's hope that we return to some sense of normalcy when all of this kind of gets in the rearview mirror. We're all in this together. Thank you so much for your hard work, your dedication to your facility, your dedication to the game, and anything that you need, any conversations you need to have, any advice you need to get, you just want to vent, please do not hesitate to reach out. And at this time, I'd like to introduce our Executive Director, Jeff Lofsted, with his report.
Good morning. Thank you, Carl. It's great to be able to provide all of you with some comments on behalf of the section staff. As I went back to prepare for this report, normally this is the time that I talk about the most recent golf season and the positive comments that I had heard from all of you. The week of March 9th will be a week that we all remember for a very long time. During the middle to latter part of that week, it seemed as if our world was changing by the hour. I still recall being in Vero Beach on the morning of the 13th, finding out that the Players' Championship had been canceled. And I think in the period of 3 hours, I'd pulled over to the side of the road to have conference calls with our staff to figure out how this was going to affect section operations. Like many of you, I've been in the workforce during other crisis situations, whether it be 9/11 or the financial crisis of 2008. It's interesting the difference in those two versus what we have today. In both of those cases, the way we were going to get out of those crisis situations was to develop and build and create activity, where in this situation, battling this virus, we know the best way to do it was to kill all activity and grind our economy to a halt. Like all of you, our operations have been significantly altered over the last 11 weeks. We've canceled 25 junior events. We've canceled 13 drive, chip, and putt qualifiers. We've canceled or postponed 7 section events. We had to cancel our largest 2 fundraising programs, budgeted to make almost $100,000. As you all know, we're conducting this annual meeting online, which is something I never thought would happen. We've had to cancel 58 PGA Hope sessions. We've canceled 50 Smiling for Life sessions, and we've postponed our planned Habitat for Humanity build from this year to next year. For the past 11 weeks, our staff has been working from home and trying to reschedule as many of these activities as possible, not fully knowing what type of environment we were going to have to function. We've been building contingency plans on top of contingency plans that seem to change on a daily basis. We do know that when we get back to operating our events, they will not look the same that they have in the past. And I thank you in advance for your patience and understanding, knowing that our tournament operations and our junior golf operations are not going to be the same type of product that we've been able to put out in the past. However, we will conduct these events to the best of our ability, providing first-class playing opportunities while ensuring that we follow all local and state guidelines that have been set forth by local officials. Since the start of this crisis, our staff has felt one of the main things that we could do to service our membership was to provide accurate and timely information and to try to follow state, local, and federal orders that were being introduced on a rapid basis. Those orders, the biggest challenge with those orders seemed to be the ambiguity that many of them provided and were oftentimes open for interpretation by those that read the orders. On top of that, the 13 counties in our section, 4 of them had separate orders that they were putting in place, and still today, 3 counties operate with separate guidelines, golf guidelines that are in place. The other challenge for our team at the beginning of this was a very passionate issue by PGA members on whether they felt they should be open at their facility or they should be closed at their facility. And in each case, there certainly wasn't a right or wrong answer in how that was looked at each individual facility. As we got toward the latter part of April, the general consensus amongst our members seemed to change, and we were able to more aggressively fight for golf to be open. On April 29th, golf was opened in all counties of the section. Certainly there were still some isolated spots and some facilities that remained closed. And we know from speaking to many of you, the challenge it's been to operate your golf facility in an enhanced sanitizing environment, oftentimes wearing personal protective equipment. We'll continue to aggregate as much information as we can and post that on our section website so that you can continue to make the best decisions that you need to make on a daily basis. As we entered this from a financial standpoint, we entered this with a very healthy financial picture, as you heard from Scott in his Vice President's report. For fiscal year 2020, we have been able to conduct all of our tour qualifiers, which is a great net revenue source for the section. Fortunately, this year, we were able to perform ahead of budget with those activities. The Golf Pass is another critical revenue source for the section, and while it had been drastically behind in sales in comparison to previous years, we have been able to catch up in recent weeks, and we are now inside of just 10% down from last year. While many of our Golf Pass members have been frustrated with the lack of opportunity to utilize golf facilities in the month of May, they also understand that we're dealing with a unique situation and they will be able to get back to normal hopefully soon. We do know one of our facilities in Naples generated $17,500 in revenue off the Golf Pass program just in the first 20 days of May. If you don't accept the Golf Pass and you'd like to learn more about the Golf Pass and how you can generate some revenue for your facility, please contact us at the section office. All requirements, all criteria, everything is determined by the individual facility, so it's a very flexible program that can provide you some great revenue at this time. From the foundation standpoint, we've been incredibly disappointed to not conduct the programs we know our communities need and want. The financial impact of not conducting these programs means that in some cases, we've actually saved money that was budgeted and will be helpful this year since we lost our 2 major fundraising programs for the foundation. We've spent a great deal of time researching and applying for federal, local grant programs that are available to small businesses. Thus far, we've been successful in receiving some federal grant money, and will be applying for a local county grant, as well as taking advantage of the Employee Payroll Retention Tax Credit Program for the section. While it's too early to determine, we are hopeful we can finish this year without much of a reliance on our reserve fund. More than ever this year, we'll be relying on some of our digital communication tools, and if you've not downloaded our Blue Golf Tournament app, I would encourage you to do so. Blue Golf is your one-stop source app for all things related to the section and the chapter. The app continues to be updated with new features. You can register for all section and chapter events directly with the app very quickly and efficiently, and can even store your credit card for future registrations. In addition, we feel like some of our early events, we may have to use the app for items such as whole location sheets and local rule sheets in a digital format. Another great feature of the app is our directory, which provides all the contact information for all of your peers and also our partners. You can easily search for any member, associate, or partner and quickly find their contact information and be able to click on their phone or text to be able to send them a message. Our tournament staff is very excited to get back out on the road to see all of you participating in section activities. As I mentioned earlier, they will not initially be the same product we are used to presenting, as we are forced to scale back on some of the services we've always seen as normal. Please know we will do everything possible to ensure a responsible environment following the guidelines and recommendations by local officials. We know there will most likely still be changes to the tournament schedule, and we will communicate those out via social media platforms and our website. Also know that there is a likelihood that because of the more compressed schedule over a shorter amount of time, there's going to be conflicts with other state, regional, and national events. We realize that this is unavoidable at this point this year, and we've done everything we can to work around as many of those situations as we've discovered. National awards, I'm happy to report that 8 South Florida PGA members were selected as finalists for national awards this year for the PGA of America. Merchandiser of the Year, BELA NAGY in the public category. Merchandiser of the Year, J.R. Friend in the private category. Merchandiser of the Year, Holly Taylor in the resort category. Bill Scott, Junior Golf Leader. Jim McLean, Horton Smith Award. James Muir, Deacon Palmer Award. Warren Bakke, Teacher of the Year. And Tom Wildenhouse, Golf Professional of the Year. Last year was a great year for the section on the national level, with Judy Alvarez winning the Patriot Award, Scott Kirkwood winning the National Merchandiser of the Year in the private category, and certainly the South Florida section receiving the Herb Graffis Award. For these 8 PGA members, it's an incredible honor to be selected as a finalist, oftentimes 3 to 6 finalists in each category out of the 29,000 that are eligible for these awards. I think this speaks volumes to the efforts of our awards committee, led by Casey Brozick, in nominating some great PGA members for national awards. We certainly hope in the coming weeks we'll be able to share some good news and some new winners on behalf of the South Florida section. Partner support is something that we rely on a great deal throughout the course of the year. They provide much needed support and allow us to conduct our programs at a very high level. As you saw at the beginning of the meeting, we scrolled a list of all of our partners and are doing so again now. We realize quite clearly that this situation has caused severe impact for many of our partners. And we will do, as we have always done with our partners, we'll work with them to make sure that we make the best decisions for both parties involved. Regardless of the current economic situation, sponsorship has always been a challenging issue. And I think it's important to note that all of our partners have made the conscious business decision that it's in their best interest to support South Florida PGA professionals. I would ask that you, as you have always done, and certainly maybe even more so as we go forward, I would ask that you give these partners the opportunities when you are making buying decisions at your facilities. Later on in today's meeting, we will announce the final results of the special secretary election that we conducted this year to replace Neil Lockie, who departed in December for a new position in the Northern Texas section. I want to thank Neil for his time of service, not only as an officer in the section, but also for his time as a committee chair and all the years he spent serving the Southeast chapter as committee chairs and later on as president of the Southeast chapter. I look forward to our new secretary. I think it's great that we have PGA members like Paul CLIVIO and BELA NAGY that have raised their hand and offered to run for office. Certainly, regardless of the outcome, we're going to be very well represented by their position. On the screen now, we have pictures of our team members. This team has done such an incredible job adjusting to a new normal of operations over the past 11 weeks and working from home in difficult circumstances. This group continues to operate our programs to a level and consistency that exceeds expectations on a daily basis. I want to thank them for their time, their effort, their energy, and more importantly, the positive attitude that they bring to everything that they do. If you've ever spent any time around any of this group, you will realize why all of our programs are operating at all-time highs. In closing, I would like to say that I'm very honored to serve as the Executive Director of the South Florida PGA. I'd like to thank you, the members, the Board of Directors, and the officers for the confidence to handle this position. If there's anything that I or any of our section staff can do, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at the section office. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff, for your comments on behalf of the section staff. And I'd now like to introduce the District 13 Director and past President of the South Florida PGA, Mr. Mark Van Dyke.
Hello, fellow section members and apprentices. This is Mark Van Dyke, PGA Director of Golf of the Fort Lauderdale Country Club and your District 13 Director serving the National Board with PGA of America. First and foremost, I hope that you, your families, and your facilities are staying safe and healthy during these very unprecedented times. Please note that the PGA of America officers, board, and staff are doing everything they possibly can for you, the member and associate, during this pandemic. I encourage you all to look at pga.org daily as it does change with everything going on in the world. It is your one-stop resource to allow yourself to flourish and be a leader at your facilities as we reopen not only the golf courses, but the rest of the country too. Specifically, the Back to Golf program, the three-phase approach that was mirrored from the White House's and the CDC's recommendation to open up America again, is there for you to use as your tool and your guide as you reopen your facilities and show your general managers and boards and owners that you, the golf professional, truly are the MVP of the facility. The Golf Emergency Relief Fund was created last month by us. We took the lead pledge, and we have other associations that have also donated. This is a great program that allows anybody in the golf industry, PGA members and anyone else working at facilities that have financial hardship, have medical bills to pay, mortgage payments due. It's an opportunity to apply and get some funds from that. Phase 1 was closed last month, but we are accepting applications for Phase 2 up to $3,500 per application. So it's an opportunity there to help you with some financial relief. Again, if you need that, or if you'd like to donate to, and I know many of you have, thank you very much for that, please go to pga.org. I got to give a great shout out to our CEO, Seth Wall, and the entire senior staff, as well as everybody at HQ, as they have really stepped up their game and raised the bar with their constant communication, transparency, and being available to not just the board, but to PGA members and associates all over the country and around the world. Thank you so much for all you do for us. I'd like to now switch gears to PGA Championships. As you all know, the 2020 PGA Championship was to be held 2 weeks ago. TPC Harding Park in San Francisco is the site. We are still going to play there August 6th through 9th. As you know, it's been rescheduled for August 6th through 9th, and the plan is to have the event. Unfortunately, right now, with everything going on out there in the state of Governor Newsom out there, it looks like that fans may not be able to play, but I can tell you that we are still committed to playing at TPC Harding Park, and I got a lot of cool stuff that I want to talk to you about a little bit more in this report. I'll get back to PGA Championship in just a moment. The 2020 KPMG Women's PGA Championship has been rescheduled, will still remain at the Aronimink Golf Club just outside of Philadelphia, but it will take place now the week of October 6th through the 11th. And the 2020 PGA Professional Championship, which was originally scheduled for April, is now going to take place July 19th through the 22nd at the Omni Barton Creek Resort and Spa in Austin, Texas, provided it is safe and responsible to do so at that time. Going back to the PGA Championship, as I discussed before, this is the first year that ESPN is replacing Turner for the PGA Championship. So Between ESPN and ESPN Plus, we should have a little over 300 hours of coverage, Skycams, 4D replays, and a lot of cool stuff on the range. With the event in San Francisco itself, primetime slots bode well for us, the PGA. We're going to have East Coast people be able to watch the PGA Championship while they're having dinner while they're at their homes, and especially with the fact that no professional sports have really been on for the last 2 months, and it's still looking, PGA Tour is getting ready to start in June. I think the entire sport of golf has a really good opportunity here to gain a lot of new fans and a lot of attraction. And when we have ESPN viewers watching the game and watching our championship, I believe that's going to be a great thing for us. ESPN will be broadcasting from the Sports Center studios as well. Scott Van Pelt will help us and lead that charge. We are very excited about the broader audience, again, that ESPN brings. We will also platform the PGA coaching and PGA coach certifications. We will tell that story during the entire week and stress the importance of all members and associates to get PGA coach certified. And what else? And finally, we're going to highlight the 20 PGA members who qualify for the PGA Championship all through the week during ESPN. It will be pretty much a feel-good message about the PGA professional and gets to play with the greatest players in the world in this year's PGA Championship at Harding Park. Moving on to PGA Frisco. As you all know, headquarters is moving to the city of Frisco, Texas in the spring of 2022. This will include 2 championship golf courses, a short course, multiple state-of-the-art practice facilities, a modern-style clubhouse, as well as a 500-room Omni hotel. It will also encompass a 127,000 square foot conference center. We have broken ground on both the courses and construction, and all is on schedule. The holes are starting to take shape, and it's a really exciting time for the PGA of America. Our Chief Operating Officer, Daryl Craw, and Jimmy Terry, the general manager out there, oversee the entire project, and I could tell you that things are going along just swell, and right on time. We look forward to that. I had a chance during the March planning session to sit with the officers and board and was able to watch a virtual walkthrough of what the PGA headquarters is going to look like out there. And I could tell you, as Seth Wall puts it, it truly will be the center of all things golf. Frisco will fulfill every need for the association in creating a very bright and positive atmosphere to allow the staff to flourish. I could tell you that the wow experience when a person walks into the building is going to be a spectacular one. PGA Frisco will also include world-class educational center designed both for the professional development of PGA professionals as well as player development itself. The center will feature state-of-the-art classrooms and teaching facilities connected to the courses and practice areas. Frisco will also host numerous championships in the future, including PGA Junior League Championships, 2 PGA Championships, 2 KPMG Ladies PGA Championships, 2 KitchenAid Senior PGA Championships, and potentially a Ryder Cup down the road. Again, a very exciting time. Just an update on member dues. As you all know, the board immediately approved the extension of member dues invoices to be pushed to October 31st. Moreover, you don't have to pay it all at once. You can if you want to, the historic way, you get to do it on October 31st, but you could also break it up, pay section dues first, and then pay national and insurance portion of it second, just as long as both are paid by October 31st. Just an update on PGA Secretary. We are electing a new PGA Secretary this year at the 103rd meeting in Hartford, Connecticut on October 30th. And there are 4 candidates running, 2 current district directors, 2 former directors who just stepped down last year. So the continuity with the board to the next officer is going to be good. I could assure you that all 4 of these candidates are well polished, and your section officers right now have been reviewing or getting ready to review the 4 candidates as they make a decision on which way they want to go with regards to the national election. The candidates are now reaching out to all the national delegates. Unfortunately, Super Regionals 3 and 4 have been postponed. They were supposed to take place back in March. And then from there, we'll just go right to the meeting, and hopefully the meeting will take place as it's scheduled, and we'll elect a new secretary again on October 30th. As we elect a new secretary in October, President Susie Whaley will be stepping down. Vice President Jim Richardson will become the new president. Secretary Don Lindert will now become the vice president. I would like to give our president and fellow section member kudos for her leadership and her constant professionalism during this very, very, very strange time. This pandemic has really changed the way we do business, the way we lead, the way we direct our board. And I can't thank you enough, Susie Whaley, for your passion every day. I look forward to working with you the rest of this term. And when you step down on October 30th, just know that everyone in the board appreciates what you do every day. In closing, I want to leave you all the message that I did. For 8 years, I was a section officer. Don't forget, everybody, you, the PGA professional and associate, you are the leaders of your facilities, okay? Make sure you use the tools available to you at pga.org. Make sure you tap people on the shoulder and ask them for help. Former leaders, past presidents, anybody you want to talk to. Our president of the PGA of America, Susie Whaley, is in our section. Please use her as a resource to help you at your facilities. And I know you will shine and do your very, very best. Please reach out to me if you have any questions regarding national affairs. Again, it is truly a privilege to serve our great section as your National District 13 Director. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Mark. And we are very pleased to be the home of our current PGA of America president, who serves as the Director of Instruction at the Country Club at Mirasol. To share some comments from the PGA of America is President Susie Whaley.
Hi everybody, Susie Whaley here, coming to you from the Country Club at Mirasol, and thankfully back open with walking and back to coaching some lessons, albeit in a mask, not super pleasant, but I sure hope that first and foremost all of you are healthy and well. This is an incredibly challenging time, a challenging year for so many, and I realize that many of you may be out of work still, laid off, furloughed, or just unknown is facing us, whether you're a seasonal employee going back up north. It's a tricky time and it's an anxious time. But I'm here to tell you that every single day we are working on your behalf, our board of directors, our staff. We want to ensure you have the resources as best we can for you during these times. I know that Kathy has been doing overtime work for all of you that need it. And willingly doing that, as best she possibly can. So thank you, Kathy, for your efforts. To Jeff, to the team, for all you're doing to coordinate community outreach and to ensure that, so many of us really have the ability to help, and that we're going ahead and doing that in South Florida. It makes me very proud to be a South Florida PGA member. And then finally, just to the members at large, I've heard from so many of you, and thank you for that. For those of you I haven't had a chance to talk with, I hope you feel comfortable reaching out to me with questions or concerns or feedback in regards to what's happening as we navigate the rest of 2020 amidst evolving times where some of our counties have different regulations. Our state, certainly city to city, has different regulations, and across the country has different regulations. But the Back to Golf guidelines that were sent out were just that. They are recommendations nationally that aligned with the CDC's Back to Businesses. And we hope that you'll look at those if you haven't had a chance to, and to visit pga.org at your earliest convenience. We're updating that weekly and oftentimes on a daily basis around 5 p.m. So if you haven't checked that recently, please take a look at that. The lifelong learning curriculum is still available to you free of charge. We hope you're taking advantage of that. And then fortunately, in many areas of the country, golf is up more than it's ever been. As we look to get everybody to the other side of this, as we navigate the Golf Emergency Relief Fund, as we go into phase 2 for that, we know there at some point is going to be another side to this. And we're seeing some of that already as golf has become a sport that's responsible to recreate at. We already have social distancing really with the amount of acreage that we have while we play the game. And that's made it an opportunity for us as we move forward. So as far as, understanding how you can really connect with those that you currently do business with, whether it's a private club, a daily fee, whether it's a resort down here, whether you're a coach and teacher at a driving range, whatever that might be, make sure that you're making those connections, whether it's by phone or email or virtually through your social media channels. The PGA of America is here to help you do that. And as all of you are aware, we have PGA.coach and PGA.coach. Currently, if you haven't completed that, please go ahead and do that. It doesn't take very long. It will give you a certification. But the real benefit of that is not only the learning model that you'll receive about athletic development and how we can best integrate that within our programming, but even beyond that, we have now profiles being uploaded to PGA.com. The importance of those profiles for those of you that have completed PGA.coach is for the first time the PGA of America is going to try to send you customers and consumers, whether we're sending them to you to a facility, whether we're sending them to you virtually, whether you're connecting through a phone call. We want to help you integrate with new consumers that are coming to golf in this COVID era, to those that perhaps will come back to golf because their other sports have been curtailed, and to those that are our core customers already. So please, if you haven't completed PGA.coach, please do so that you can have a PGA profile. Even for those of us that teach or work at a private facility, just keep in mind you could be earning money literally or connecting with new members, possible members that are coming down from up north that don't want to stay up north through PGA.com, and we want to help you do that. So it's really for everyone, even if your facility doesn't allow new customers or guests to come onto your property. There are ways that we can help, and ways we can help not only your business, but your employer and the revenue generation for that. If you have any questions, please reach out to me at my email, swhaley@pgahq.com. Always feel free to pick up the telephone. Give me a little bit to get back to you, but I certainly will do that. Just a big thank you to all of you for wearing the logo, for being a member, for supporting your fellow members at this really difficult time. And just reach out to those perhaps you haven't talked to in a while and make sure they're doing okay. Because we're the largest group I can think of that's incredibly passionate about the game. We share that commonality. We share what we do for a living, albeit we don't all do the same thing. But we can relate, and we can relate to those that are struggling. And for those of us who are fortunate enough to still be employed, it's really nice to be able to reach out and kind of share what we're all going through during this time. So thanks so much for the energy, the time, the passion to the game. Thanks for trying to stay positive because there will be another side to this, and I do believe golf will come out better for it. Thanks.
Thank you, Susie. We are thrilled that you are a member of the South Florida PGA. And now I'd like to introduce our career consultant, Kathy Grayson, for an update on behalf of our career services.
Good morning. First and foremost, I hope this message finds each of you well and safe, as well as your families. We've certainly had an anxious last 2 months, and I know many of you are very busy trying to get your courses reopened, and many of you have been very busy maintaining your courses as they have been open and extremely busy this season. So I'm wishing you all well, and I'm sorry we can't get together for the annual meeting this year. The last 2 months have created a lot of anxiety, and I've had a lot of conversations with many of you. I want to encourage all of you, if you're struggling either professionally or personally, to please know that I'm here for you, and please know that my colleagues around the country are also available for any discussions, any support that you need. I also want to remind you that if you access member assistance on pga.org, there is a service called Support Link, and it is a free counseling service to all of you. And again, that's for personal, professional, financial issues that you may be struggling with during these unprecedented times. I want to make sure that you know those resources are available to you. So again, you can access Support Link on pga.org, and you all have my contact information if you need to speak to me personally. Again, I'm here for you. Member interactions the last couple of months have obviously increased. We've had a lot of time on our hands to contact you, make sure that you're doing well. Those are up 9% nationally. COVID interactions between March 16th and May 1st for our team, we have contacted 1,435 of our members, and provided some type of assistance that is COVID related. And obviously that's a 74% increase over last year. So again, know that we're here for you. We are reaching out as much as possible and assisting you any way that we can. Employers, we've also had many interactions with our employers. We've received an NPR score of 94 out of 100, which is tremendous. Our contacts with our employers are up 11%, and total jobs posted are down 13%, but I think we can all understand why that downturn. Total advanced searches are up 11%, and I am excited to report that South Florida leads the number of advanced searches throughout the country. And I'll go over some of those that are going on right now and we look forward to in the future. Compensation, I know, is extremely important to all of you, so I want to give you a little bit of data on compensation. We have filled 511 management positions this year in 2020 with an overall compensation increase of 8%. So we're extremely proud of that. We continue to work on your behalf and increase compensation at all levels. General manager compensation is up 11%. Director of golf compensation is up 7.4%. Head professional compensation is up 5.5%. And compensation for the advanced searches that we have executed is up 16%. So some great numbers there. Again, we're working on assistant compensation data right now, and hopefully I'll have an update on associate compensation at a later time. I do want to let you know, and this is very important, that Career Links is going away. We will no longer be utilizing Career Links in the next 60 to 90 days. We're going to fully transition all of our jobs, and that includes management level jobs, executive search, and advanced searches. Every job will be posted on pga.org. That's for full transparency to all of you. And we will have some criteria, obviously, that you'll have to meet in order to apply for some of the higher level positions. So what I need you to do is I need you to please access pga.org. I need you to log into your account. And if you scroll halfway down the page, you're going to see a new tab titled Job Preferences. Those are similar to your profile on Career Links. So please go into that tab, fill out your job preferences. It's much easier than Career Links was in the past with your profile. I think you have 5 to 7 really easy questions to answer. And as soon as we fully transition away from Career Links to pga.org, you will begin receiving job notifications like you did in the past. So very important that you go on to pga.org, fill out your preferences, because when we fully transition, you won't receive those notifications if you don't do it. So please make sure you do that. And then section employment update. I'm not going to give you any data numbers, but I do want to let you know for upcoming executive searches, we'll be working with the Wilderness Club in Naples for director of golf position. I'm working with Addison Reserve Country Club in Delray Beach on a co-head professional position. We started that search. It was put on hold. We're planning on re-engaging with them later this summer, sooner than later. And again, co-head professional position open at Addison Reserve. Still working on the general manager position at Boca Grove. We are resuming that search now, and we will have somebody placed at Boca Grove in the next probably 4 or 5 months. We fared very well unemployment-wise during the COVID virus. So far, we only have 31 unemployed PGA professionals. Most of those are seasonal positions. If for some reason you had a seasonal position up north that has been canceled, please give me a call. I do have professionals around the country in the mountain states and in the far northeast that are looking for seasonal employees, and I'm happy to help you with placement. So again, thank you. I hope you're all safe. I know you're very busy, and if I can be of any service, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Have a great day. Thank you.